Hi everybody. This week you're going to write your first essay, and we've talked about it in our Zoom lesson, but I want to go over the instructions for people who weren't in the lesson or anybody who wants a little review. So remember, the topic of your essay will be the readings from the first module. So that's individual freedom and self-reliance. And remember, there's our vocabulary list. And the main ideas here, just get the main ideas. Where did this idea or this value of individualism come from? It comes from the very beginning of the country. The first people who came here from Europe found that they came here to express their individualism, and ever since then it has been a fundamental value. Take a look at the reading and get the details that you can use in your essay. And how is individualism connected with this idea of self-reliance? Why do Americans feel that you have to be self-reliant? And if you're not self-reliant, how does that reflect on your individualism or your individual freedom? And what are some examples? We talked about how children, young adults move out of their parents' home much earlier in America, as a general rule, than in many other cultures. We talked about the example of homelessness and why that problem creates unique values questions in this culture. You can also draw on any ideas that you encountered from your other students in the discussion boards or in your free speaking and your free writing assignments. The other pair of cultural values that we discussed was equality of opportunity and competition. So again, our vocabulary list is here. We talked about the grammar, but think back and go back through the reading to get some ideas for your essay. How is equality of opportunity particularly connected to the culture of immigration here? Why is it that American culture, with every new wave of immigrants, has strengthened this cultural value of equality of opportunity? And what's the connection between equality of opportunity and competition? How is it that competition evolved from this widely held and very important value of equality of opportunity? And why is it that competition has become such a strong American value of its own self? You can, again, draw on anything from the reading or anything you've discussed in your discussion boards or anything that you've done in your writing or your free speaking. And finally, remember what we discussed in class and what you've read online about the 5-paragraph essays in general. We're starting with a sort of general format, an expository essay, a 5-paragraph essay. What is a 5-paragraph essay, and why is it important for students who might be going on to college in America to learn this format? What is that 5-paragraph structure that we talked about in class? What is an introduction and body paragraphs and a conclusion? Make sure those ideas are clear to you before you start writing. And don't forget, we spent some time talking about the details that go into a 5-paragraph essay, a clear thesis at the beginning, logical transitions, the very important body paragraphs that support the thesis statement, all the evidence that goes in the body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Don't forget that it ought to be complete. So if you make a statement, you have to logically complete that explanation or support for your statement. So review all of those things and get ready for your essay. You'll be doing that on your own. But if you have any questions about what you can choose for topics, we brainstormed some different topics that you might choose. Your main ideas come from our 2 readings. You can form any kind of opinion for your thesis statement that you choose. What do you get from those things? From those values? How do those values relate to your experience as an immigrant, a new immigrant, here? What were the things that you found in the readings that Americans lived up to and failed at? We talked about the situation now with the Black Lives Matter and racism, the persistent problem that we have in this country. So you could talk about any of those things. Just make a clear statement, support your thesis statement in the 5-paragraph essay format, and write a good conclusion.